Have you ever been hurt by someone you trusted? And instead of their apology healing the wound, does it make the cut feel even deeper? They say, "I'm sorry." But somehow, you feel smaller, confused, even guilty. That's not an apology. That's gaslighting. And here's the truth. One will rebuild a relationship. The other, it will slowly destroy you. In this video, we're breaking down the difference between a genuine apology and a manipulative one. Because while the words might sound the same, the intention behind them couldn't be more different. By the end, you'll know exactly how to spot when someone is truly sorry, and when they're just twisting your mind to keep control. Gaslighting and apologies are often confused. But here's the secret. They live on opposite ends of the emotional spectrum. A genuine apology? It brings clarity. It gives you space to feel heard. It's an act of responsibility. But gaslighting disguised as an apology? It clouds your mind. It shifts the blame. And worst of all, it makes you question your own reality. And if you've ever walked away from an apology feeling more broken than before, then chances are you weren't being healed. You were being handled. Red flag number 1, the "I'm sorry you feel that way" trap. Imagine this. You're sitting across from someone you care about. Maybe it's your partner, maybe a close friend. You've just shared something that hurt you. Maybe they ignored you in public. Maybe they raised their voice in an argument. Your heart is pounding because you finally opened up. And then their response comes in cold, polished words. "I'm sorry you feel that way." At first, it sounds like an apology. But deep down, something feels off. Why? Because that's not a genuine apology. That's gaslighting wrapped in nice packaging. Why this is a red flag. A genuine apology takes responsibility. "I'm sorry I hurt you. I should not have done that. Here's how I'll do better." Gaslighting apologies, on the other hand, flip the script. They don't own the mistake. They shift the focus onto you. By saying, "I'm sorry you feel that way," what they're really saying is, "The problem isn't what I did. The problem is how sensitive you are." It's a psychological sleight of hand. And if you don't catch it, you end up questioning yourself instead of their behavior. Hook inside the explanation. Now pause for a second. How many times have you walked away from an argument thinking, "Wait, am I overreacting? Am I too emotional? Was it really that bad?" That doubt? That's exactly what a manipulator wants. Because the moment you question your own reality, they've already won. Example 1. The student. Let's say you're a student. Your partner promised to support you during exam week, but instead, they blew up your phone with drama. You finally confront them. And what do they say? "I'm sorry you feel stressed, but I didn't do anything wrong." See the trick? They didn't apologize for distracting you, for breaking their promise. They only highlighted your stress, making it look like the real issue is your inability to handle pressure. Example 2. The couple, or picture a couple in public. One partner cracks a joke that cuts a little too deep. You bring it up later, saying, "That embarrassed me." And they reply, "I'm sorry you're so sensitive." It was just a joke, once again. No accountability. Instead, you're painted as the problem. The psychology behind it. Here's why this works so well for manipulators. Humans crave resolution in conflict. When someone says, "Sorry," your brain wants to accept it and move forward. But when the apology is twisted, your brain gets stuck in confusion. They said sorry, so why don't I feel better? Maybe it really is me. Maybe I'm too harsh. That confusion keeps you locked in the cycle. And manipulators feed on that cycle. Because as long as you're questioning yourself, you're not questioning them. How to spot the trap? Here's the test. A genuine apology always includes 3 parts. 1. Owning the behavior. "I shouldn't have done that." 2. Acknowledging the impact. I see how it hurt you. 3. Commitment to change. Here's how I'll do better. If even one of these pieces is missing, what you're hearing might not be an apology. It might be gaslighting in disguise. Hook to pull them deeper. So next time you hear an apology, ask yourself, are they actually repairing the relationship or just repairing their image? Because the truth is, a narcissist doesn't want a resolution. They want control, and a false apology is one of the cleanest ways to keep it. Viewer takeaway. Here's your shield. If someone apologizes but you walk away feeling more guilty, more confused, or more doubtful than before, that wasn't an apology. That was manipulation. And the moment you recognize that difference, you take back the power they thought they had over you. Red flag number 2. The over-apology. Flood. Imagine this. You call someone out for something small but hurtful. Maybe they forgot an important date, or maybe they made a careless remark in front of your friends. You're ready for a calm conversation. Instead, they hit you with a tidal wave of words. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm the worst person ever. I always screw up. You must hate me now. Please don't leave me. Please don't be mad. At first glance, it feels like they're really sorry. They're practically drowning in guilt, right? But here's the hidden danger. This isn't always about your pain. Sometimes, it's about their performance. Why this is manipulation. A genuine apology clears the air. But an over-apology does the opposite. It fills the room with guilt until you can't breathe. The focus shifts from what they did wrong to how bad they feel. Suddenly, instead of holding them accountable, you're the one comforting them. And that's the trick. By exaggerating their remorse, manipulators flip the script. Now you're saying things like, "It's okay, don't worry about it. You're not that bad. Stop beating yourself up." See what happened? The problem you came in to solve just got buried under their emotional performance. Have you ever noticed how some apologies make you end up apologizing back? That's not resolution. That's emotional hijacking. Example 1. The romantic partner. You tell your partner, "It hurt me that you canceled our plans last minute." They respond with, "I'm horrible. I ruin everything. You'd be better off without me. I don't deserve you." What happens? Instead of addressing the issue, the broken plan, you end up reassuring them. No, you're not horrible, don't say that. Boom. Issue dodged. Control maintained. Example 2. The workplace. Or think about a colleague who dropped the ball on a project. Instead of taking responsibility, they say, "I'm the worst employee here. I can't do anything right. I'll probably get fired anyway." Now suddenly, you're not annoyed about the mistake anymore. You're worried about their feelings. And that shift? That's how they escape accountability. The psychology behind it. Here's the science. When someone shows extreme guilt, our natural instinct is to soothe. Humans are wired for empathy. We don't like to see others in pain. Manipulators exploit that instinct. By drowning you in an over-apology, they're counting on you to rescue them emotionally. And once you're busy rescuing them, the original issue? Gone. How to spot the trap. Here's your checklist. A real apology is short, clear, and followed by action. A manipulative over-apology is dramatic, excessive, and leaves you comforting them. If you walk away from an apology feeling like you did the comforting instead of receiving it, that's not accountability. That's manipulation. So the next time someone says, "I'm the worst person ever," instead of, "I'll do better next time," ask yourself this: are they apologizing or are they auditioning? Here's the truth. An apology should be about repairing the hurt, not shifting the spotlight. If someone turns every mistake into a theater performance of guilt, it's not your job to hand them an award. It's your job to notice the difference. And once you notice, you'll see it everywhere. In relationships, at work, even with friends. Because the more dramatic the apology, the less likely it is to be real. Red flag number 3. The "if you really loved me" trap. Picture this. You're sitting at home, finally enjoying a quiet evening. Maybe watching your favorite show. Maybe just breathing after a long, exhausting day. Then, the message comes in. "If you really loved me, you'd answer right now." Or, "If you cared, you'd come over, no matter how late it is." Notice what just happened. That wasn't a request. That was a test. Why this is manipulation. Healthy relationships don't use love as leverage. But manipulators, they weaponize it. Instead of asking with respect, they frame everything as a condition. Do this, or you don't love me. Say this, or you don't care. It's a mind game that forces you to prove your love constantly and leaves you feeling like you're always one step away from being not enough. Think about it. Have you ever been in a situation where love started to feel like a scoreboard? Where no matter what you did, the bar kept moving higher? That's not love. That's control. Here's why it works. Humans are wired for connection. When someone suggests your love isn't strong enough, panic sets in. Your brain goes, "What if they're right? What if I'm not doing enough? What if I lose them?" And in that moment of fear, you give in. You answer at midnight. You cancel your plans. You sacrifice your peace. All to prove something that never should have been questioned in the first place. Example 1. The romantic partner. A partner says, "If you loved me, you'd quit your job and stay home with me." That's not romance. That's an ultimatum disguised as affection. And the danger? Once you give in, the demands don't stop. They only escalate. Example 2. Family dynamics. It's not just partners who use this trick. Parents sometimes weaponize it too. If you really loved your family, you'd do exactly what I say. And in that moment, you're not choosing freely. You're choosing out of guilt. The psychology behind it, this is called conditional love manipulation. Instead of love being unconditional, steady, supportive, respectful, it becomes transactional. Every act of care becomes a test. Every boundary becomes a negotiation. And the result? You're exhausted, constantly hustling for approval that never comes. Here's how you know you're dealing with this tactic. The request is framed as proof of love. Saying no makes you feel guilty instead of respected. The goalpost keeps moving. No matter how much you do, it's never enough. So the next time someone says, "If you loved me, you'd do this," stop and ask, why does my love always need a receipt? Here's the hard truth. If someone is forcing you to prove your love through constant tests, that's not a relationship. It's an emotional leash. Love doesn't need proof every 5 minutes. It shows itself naturally, in respect, in consistency, in care. So the moment you feel trapped in the "if you loved me" cycle, remember this. Healthy love doesn't demand endless tests. It trusts, it listens, and it gives you space to be human, not a performer auditioning for approval. Red flag number 4. The hot and cold game. Intermittent reinforcement. Imagine this. One day, they're warm, affectionate, almost overwhelming with love. The next day, they're distant, cold, as if you don't even exist. You're left asking yourself, what changed? Did I do something wrong? Why did the energy vanish overnight? And here's the unsettling truth. This isn't random, it's a tactic. Psychologists call it intermittent reinforcement, and it's the same technique used in casinos to keep people gambling. You never know when the reward is coming, so you keep pulling the lever, again and again, hoping this time you'll get the jackpot. Sound familiar? That's exactly what happens in toxic relationships. When someone showers you with affection, your brain floods with dopamine. It feels euphoric, like love at its purest. But when that affection suddenly disappears, panic sets in. You start chasing the high, desperate to get back to the good version of them. Here's the dangerous part. The inconsistency makes the bond even stronger, not weaker, because your brain is addicted to the chase. Example 1. The sudden switch on Monday. They send you a 3-paragraph love note. By Tuesday, they leave you on red. By Wednesday, they're back with roses and kisses. And you? You're stuck in a cycle, analyzing every move, begging for stability that never comes. Example 2. The push-pull partner. They tell you they've never felt this way about anyone. You start to believe it's real. Then, the next week, they say, maybe we rushed into this. Maybe we need space. But just when you're ready to walk away, they come back with, I can't live without you. And just like that, you're hooked again. The psychology behind it. Here's why it's so powerful. Your brain doesn't crave love. It craves unpredictability. Because unpredictability feels exciting. This trick hijacks the same reward system that keeps gamblers addicted to slot machines. You're not addicted to the person. You're addicted to the cycle. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, do you love them? Or do you love the version of them that only shows up sometimes? If the answer is the latter, you're not in love with a person. You're in love with the illusion they dangle in front of you. How to spot it? You're likely caught in this trap if you feel anxious when they pull away. You replay every interaction, trying to figure out what you did wrong. The highs are incredible, but the lows leave you shattered. Here's the truth you need to hear. Real love doesn't come with a switch. It doesn't vanish to make you beg for it back. It doesn't turn affection into a prize you have to earn. So the next time someone makes you feel like love is a roller coaster, remember this. Healthy relationships feel steady, consistent, and secure. Yes, there will be ups and downs, but not disappearances. So ask yourself, are you waiting for the jackpot of affection? Or are you ready to walk away from the slot machine entirely? Red flag number 5. Apologies that aren't really apologies. Let's play out a moment you've probably lived through. They hurt you. Maybe it was a cruel comment. Maybe it was breaking a promise. Maybe it was crossing a boundary you clearly set. And when you finally confront them, they sigh, look at you with tired eyes and say, fine. I'm sorry, okay? Happy now? At first, you think it's a win. They admitted it. They apologized. But deep down, something feels hollow. That's because what you just heard wasn't an apology. It was a performance. Here's the difference. A genuine apology repairs. A gaslighting apology deflects, minimizes, or flips the blame back on you. And once you learn to tell the difference, you'll never hear the words, I'm sorry, the same way again. The types of fake apologies on. The conditional apology, I'm sorry if you felt that way. Notice the twist. They're not apologizing for what they did. They're apologizing for how you reacted. 2. The defensive apology, well, I wouldn't have done that if you hadn't. Suddenly, the blame shifts. You're no longer the hurt one. You're the reason they lashed out. 3. The performance apology. Fine. I said sorry. Can we move on already? Translation. I don't actually care about your pain. I just want you to stop talking about it. The psychology behind it. Why do manipulators use fake apologies? Because real apologies require vulnerability. They require admitting fault. And for someone who thrives on control, admitting fault feels like handing you power. So instead, They craft apologies that look like accountability, but secretly reinforce control. And here's the kicker. Over time, you begin to doubt your right to even feel hurt. You think, maybe I'm overreacting. After all, they did apologize. That's not healing. That's conditioning. Real versus fake. The emotional test. Here's how you can spot the difference in real life. After a genuine apology, you feel lighter. You feel understood. You sense repair. After a gaslighting apology, you feel heavier. You feel confused. You start second-guessing yourself instead of finding closure. So ask yourself this simple question. Do I feel peace after their apology, or do I feel doubt? Your body knows the truth before your brain catches up. Example: the silent twist. Imagine your partner forgets something important to you. Let's say your birthday dinner. You bring it up and they say, "Wow, you're really going to make a big deal out of this? I said sorry already. You're so sensitive." Now, suddenly it's not about them forgetting. It's about you being too much. That's not just a bad apology. That's gaslighting in disguise. Here's the dangerous part. Fake apologies don't just patch over a single fight. They rewire your expectations for what love is supposed to feel like. If you hear them enough times, you start believing that closure always comes with confusion, that forgiveness always comes with guilt, that love always comes with pain. But let me tell you something blunt. Real love doesn't need loopholes in its apologies. So the next time someone says, "I'm sorry," pause. Don't just listen to the words. Watch what follows. Do their actions shift? Do they make effort to not repeat the same wound? Do you feel closer or more alone? Because here's the bottom line. A real apology builds bridges. A fake apology builds walls. So here's your checkpoint. Are you accepting apologies that heal or apologies that hollow you out? Because the difference between the two is the difference between love and manipulation. Red flag number 6, emotional blackmail. Disguised as love, picture this. You bring up something that hurt you, maybe a broken promise, maybe their harsh tone last night. Instead of listening, they suddenly drop a bomb. "If you really loved me, you wouldn't bring this up." Or worse, "Wow, after everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me." Your heart sinks, because now it's not about what they did wrong. It's about whether you are good enough in love. That's emotional blackmail. It's not always screaming threats. It's quiet, strategic, and it hooks into your deepest fear, the fear of losing love. Here's the trick. Gaslighters know that silence and guilt are powerful weapons. They don't need to shout at you. They just need you to believe that standing up for yourself means risking the relationship. And once you believe that, they own the script. How emotional blackmail mounts one. The guilt trip. After all I've sacrificed for you, you're really going to complain. Translation: your needs don't matter. My sacrifices are the only currency in this relationship. 2. The threat of withdrawal. If you keep acting like this, I don't know if I can stay. Suddenly, your pain turns into a countdown clock. You scramble to fix things, not because you were wrong, but because you're terrified of being abandoned. To. The tira movo fine. I guess I'm just the worst partner ever. Now, instead of addressing your hurt, you're the one reassuring them. They've flipped the script. You came in wounded, and somehow, you leave apologizing. The psychology behind it. Why does emotional blackmail hit so hard? Because humans are wired for connection. We fear rejection, like we fear physical pain. Manipulators know this. They weaponize love, the very thing you crave, and turn it into leverage. It's not about resolving conflict. It's about training you to avoid conflict altogether. So eventually, you stop bringing up issues. You silence yourself before they ever have to silence you. That's not love. That's control. Real love versus blackmail. Here's the difference, crystal clear. Real love says, "Thank you for telling me. Let's work on this together." Emotional blackmail says, "If you bring this up again, you'll lose me." One builds trust, the other builds fear. Now here's the scary part. The more you give in to emotional blackmail, the more your nervous system wires itself to avoid conflict at all costs. That means your body literally starts to panic at the thought of speaking up. And that's how manipulation becomes invisible, because you start policing yourself. Let's make this real. Sarah and Jake. Sarah asks Jake why he didn't show up for dinner with her parents. Jake sighs and says, "I knew this would happen. You always make me the bad guy. Maybe I shouldn't even try anymore." Suddenly, Sarah isn't talking about the dinner anymore. She's reassuring Jake that he's not a bad partner. Her pain gets buried. His control gets stronger. This is the cycle. And it repeats until Sarah no longer recognizes her own needs. So here's your checkpoint. When someone responds to your hurt by making you fear losing them, that's not compromise. That's not passion. That's not love. That's emotional blackmail. The truth is this: anyone can say, "I love you." But if their love feels like a weapon pressed against your chest, it isn't love at all. Real love listens. It doesn't punish. It doesn't blackmail. And it never makes you afraid to speak. So the question you need to ask yourself right now is this: am I being loved, or am I being controlled by the fear of losing love? Red flag number 7, future faking. The dream that never comes. Close your eyes for a second and imagine this. Someone looks you dead in the eyes and says, "One day, we'll move into our dream home together. I can't wait to marry you. Just give it time. You're my forever. I'll never let you go." Your heart melts, because these aren't just words, they're visions. You can see the wedding, the house, the life together. It feels real. It feels inevitable. But here's the dagger. They never meant it. That's future faking, the cruelest red flag of all, because it feeds on the one thing that keeps every human being moving forward: hope. Hope is powerful. It's what makes us push through dark nights, tough jobs, painful seasons. And manipulators know this. They dangle your future like a shiny key just out of reach. Not to build it with you, but to keep you chasing it. How future faking sounds 1. The fast-forward fantasy. I know we just met, but I can see myself marrying you. It feels flattering, but it's a setup. 2. The someday trap. We'll move in together once things settle down at work. Notice how that someday never arrives. 3. The eternal carrot. Next year, I promise, things will be different. But when next year comes, the excuses arrive too. The psychology behind it. Why does future faking work so well? Because humans are dreamers. We don't just live in the present. We survive by believing in tomorrow. When someone paints a picture of that tomorrow with you in it, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical that fires when gamblers think they're about to win. It's intoxicating. It makes you stay, even when today is miserable. Because what if tomorrow really is better? That's the hook. And it keeps you tied to promises that will never be fulfilled. Real love versus future faking. Let's draw the line crystal clear. Real love says, "Here's what I'm building with you today, and tomorrow will grow from it." Future faking says, "Ignore today's problems, because tomorrow will magically fix everything." See the difference? One is rooted in action. The other is rooted in fantasy. Here's the harsh truth. The longer you stay attached to fake futures, the more you waste the one thing you can never get back: time. That's the manipulator's greatest theft. Not just your trust, not just your love, but years you can never reclaim. Let's bring this down to earth. Emma dated Ryan for 5 years. From the first month, he promised her marriage. Every year, he'd say, "This is the year. I just need to save more money, get that promotion, figure things out." Emma waited. She gave him her 20s. She turned down other opportunities because she believed the future he kept painting. But that wedding, it never came because Ryan never intended to give it. Future faking wasn't his vision. It was his leash. So here's your checkpoint. If someone's promises always live in the future, but their actions today don't reflect it, that's not love. That's a lie dressed up as hope. Real love builds, brick by brick, in the present. Fake love distracts you with castles in the clouds. And here's the chilling part. Future faking is usually the last card in the manipulator's deck. Because once they've hooked you with love bombing, confused you with gaslighting, controlled you with silence and blackmail, the only thing left to keep you from walking away is the dream. The dream of one day. The dream that never arrives. The